Okay, right there. That has set us to record. So I'm doing a self VOD. Um, and essentially I didn't record the last VOD review that I've done with Mick, but the last thing that he was discussing was I need to be able to I need to be able to understand more map knowledge now. He feels as if that I've got to the point now where every time I do a VOD review, we're going to be looking at map knowledge, like how to win a map on a certain hero, or maybe not even a certain hero, just how to be able to critically look at a map and be able to say, okay, this is how I'm going to take each fight. This is where I'm going to set up, being in the relevant positions for every single fight that I go into, and also, maybe a little bit of first person analysis of my own gameplay as well. Um, and I just want to try and be able to understand critically myself, or try and, you know, critically review my own gameplay, as I feel like being able to self-review, knowing that I don't have to have Mick in attendance every time I want to go over my own gameplay, could be a fairly valuable resource, because then I'll become more self-reliant, which will be a big thing. Um, So I'm playing Junker Queen again. This is the last map. This is the same map that me and Mick have already reviewed, but we didn't go over those specifics. So on my team, we're not really playing a brawl comp. These three are more poke. The Bastion has the potential to brawl with Sentry and will actually destroy this Reinhardt's shield. So will Zan. Um, So that is maybe something. There's a slight brawl angle to this, where if I watch out for discords and anti-nades, actually, um, I can potentially engage on those if I see the opportunity, which is very, very important. The one thing to notice on their team, however, are um, these three. These three will make it very difficult for me to brawl. Reinhardt is stronger. If you can't play the Junker Queen to the better standard, um, then the Reinhardt is actually stronger than the Junker Queen. Because he's got such a big shield and a large HP pool, and he's just so much stronger at brawling, especially because of the shields or the armor that Reinhardt has. This makes Rhine just so powerful. 650 HP compared to 450, and 300 of that um, is armor, which makes Queen very vulnerable in terms of the brawl. And making it even worse is again the anti and sleep that Anna has. If I get antied and get into a brawl match with Reinhardt, that won't go very well. I won't be able to receive any support. And even worse is the fact that they have a Mei, um, and a Mei can throw up a wall behind a Queen, and good Diamond Meis will do that. They will isolate the enemy tank and allow for the Reinhardt to just simply brawl into the Junker Queen. So I'd say those are the things that I need to look out for. Obviously, the enemy DPS and, well, they've got a pharmacy is the other thing to maybe be aware of, which means that I have to play inside cover and wait for opportunities. Just looking at their comp, I would say that this will be a very, very tough matchup for me to be able to take. So whether or not I will be able to play the Junker Queen into this will be an interesting thing to look
Five,
out for.
four,
They win in the brawl
three,
match and there isn't
two,
much on the ground.
one.
The Actually, just one more
Objective
thing to go
unlocks in
over.
30
The
seconds.
in is though that if Mercy is committed to Farah in the sky, then that means that Anna is left isolated with no Mercy to peel. Obviously there is a Mei, but I believe that the engage here would be walk in path on Anna through cover, isolate Anna, axe her and knife her. And if I force the Mei to turn around, or if I force the Mercy's attention onto Anna, then that leaves the Reinhardt in a poor position, and that leaves Farah in a poor position. And with 2 hit scans on my team, with 2 hit scans and an Anna actually, and the Discord, that does kind of leave a very, very bad situation for Reinhardt and Farah. So that is something that I should be looking out for. If we just go up into the sky here, we'll just wait for everybody to match up. Okay, so we have Anna playing at the back, and I'm playing on this corner here. I feel as if once I've seen the compositions, it's a case of I can play back here around this corner, which will be the space that I can hold. And if I'm not going to play around there, then I need to come up to statue and play around here. The important thing is that I know that my whole team is ready to push through this choke and push through, so Maywall becomes less effective, because Maywall will be able to completely catch me out there. And what I haven't recognised yet is that my Bastion and Anna are not in the same position as me currently. So it's very important that I push through this choke. Once I recognise the Mei, I should be looking at where is this Mei going to be trying to throw up a wall, and where does that counteractively mean that I should be playing. Right now, Anna is in a very safe position, and trying to engage in Anna back here could be quite dangerous. So I do exactly what I shouldn't do, which is I shout in, and then if I go to third person here, my whole team is still playing there, and they're just simply able. They're trying to LOS Pharmacy in the sky, whereas I am down on the ground brawling a Mei. And if I just go back a few seconds here,
come on back, Gracie.
you can watch what I do. So I shout in to try and close the distance, and then because I've done that, I haven't got shout to disengage, and I'm punished for it. And that is just an instant fight
Stop
loss.
them pushing and do it now.
An enemy here.
I should also be using shout from spawn as a little note that I can make there, but a waste of shout immediately in the first fight, and not being aware of where my team is positioned. I'd say not knowing when they're able to follow up and when they aren't able to follow up. And I believe I make the same mistake again. I go in on the Anna, which is the correct play. I pop shout too early, and instead get walled off. And if I believe, yeah, my whole team is playing on the high ground behind, being pressured by this Farah, and I engage, and my team is not there. So just immediately from those first 2 fights, the big mistake that I'm already picking up on is that I am not looking around enough to be able to recognise when is the opportunity to go in and what is the opportunity. And though it was the right decision to make this pathing from this, let me just go back into the Overwatch. There we go. Though it was the right decision to make a path from window onto Anna, who was in cover, and then try and play on this cover, and then obviously the intention would be, If I have to chase back here, I can, and then I path all the way around back up. That is the correct decision to make. The fatal mistake that I make is I'm not paying attention to what my team is doing, and because of that, I get punished because again, I don't have any support.
An enemy here.
冻住，不许走。Take cover. Helden sterben nicht. No one can hide.
We're down our Anna here.
Outnumbered. They finally got a fair fight.
Maybe a little bit of AFKing wasn't necessary there, but we're down 2, so it's just a situation of wait and shooting at Reinhardt there when there was a Mercy probably wouldn't punish it, but with a knife I might have been able to. So I need to be a little bit less lazy with who I'm shooting at. And we're just now waiting for Widow who swapped to Genji. We're up a pick. I shout in again, and now I've been punished because I didn't look round to check where Anna was, which should have been my first instinct. And now I've tried to re-engage without shout, and I'm going to be punished for it. I require the nano, but even with nano, shattered. I get lucky not to die early. Again, another thing that I went over with Mick is I often take the easy target rather than taking the right target, because as we can watch here, I engage again without shout, which is a very, very big mistake. And then we can see here I'm shooting this Mei, and I'm trying to engage on a Mei when there is a Mercy directly behind me. And as we watch this fight play out, this Mercy is now going to begin healing Mei, and with the Mercy changes that Mercy has, she takes or she does more healing when somebody drops below half HP. So as a queen, even if I was to land the axe, knife and a bunch of headshots, it would become increasingly hard to kill a Mei. Whereas, and as well, she's a brawl hero and she thrives in the range that I was putting her in. Whereas Mercy is not is a brilliant target because Mercy doesn't really have much appeal. She's got Guardian Angel, but she hasn't got anything to deter people besides being able to run away from them, which doesn't really give her much value in terms of being dived. If we just maybe have a look at where this fight is going to start, we've just lost our Genji. If I go for a bird's eye view here, we've just lost our Genji. They have lost a few, so I should be recognising the fact that even though we've just lost a late pick, that Anna is all the way back here, their Mercy is here, they've got the DPS here and a Reinhardt. We can assume that this Reinhardt will be in the fight. But what's important to recognise now is where are the brawl positions. We want to play on a corner, we want to play in cover. So the best options are here. There's a corner there. There is a slight corner here. We can play from this high ground. Obviously, high ground is always a great position. And the perfect thing about this high ground is once they've pushed into, this sort of area, the opportunities to shoot down, we've got an opportunity there. All of this area, essentially, this little cone area, is covered. And then there's even the windows going down onto there. So maybe if we catch an Anna trying to play out of that room, we drop down, we land a knife, we pull her, we drop down, we land an axe. We try and get the combo. If the combo doesn't work out, then maybe the next thing to look at is how do we path out, and in that position we can either try and path back out through there, or we can try and path back out through there and go for the long rotation round, or we thrive in the chaos with support from the team, and we could ult back out. Which obviously, if you go into the backline and then ult out as Junker Queen, so we'd be here, and then we pop ult, and we could go right the way through the team onto this corner, or we could position ourselves there and go onto this corner, and we go through, we get a lot of value with our ultimate. We probably force out a cooldown from her, we maybe force out Valk, Reinhardt would be antied, and there would be no level of peel for that. So I'd say in a perfect fight scenario here, it is we play in this high ground, we go on the Ana or the Mercy, we get the pick, and then we can ult straight back out through the team and either force out cooldowns or we get the team fight win. Could have been a little bit more patient on the knife there, rather than pulling it straight back. I'm happy with the fact that I'm not being lazy. They're now down their ice block. Ryan was definitely caught out. It was an early shout. You can see that I still had all of my shout left. And it was a bit of a rushed ultimate, but it does end up with a kill. Let me just go back and have a think about this. Okay. So if we go up into the bird's eye perspective, as always, so control I, and we'll just get this up. So we're ulting from here. We're going through the team. Obviously, we've seen this Mercy. But the issue is the ultimate essentially lands us around about here on this corner, directly in the middle of the team. We come face to face with an Ana, and we have a Mei behind us. We have a Mercy who's rezzing Reinhardt behind us. We are now challenging an Ana with sleep and anti-nade with a Reinhardt behind us, and we don't know that this Mei is going to be dead. So essentially what we've just done is we've altered into the back line, where, and even there's a Pharah there who has angles, could just shoot down onto us, and although we have a little bit of cover, not much. And actually, hold on, this isn't a great colour to be using here. There we go. So we're going to ult through, and we're going to land essentially in front of this Ana. When I'd say in this situation, the better option, if we just go check what abilities I have. Don't know why it's putting me in the sky. I don't have much, but I have definitely got a jagged blade. So I could try and land a blade on this Mercy, pull her away from Raz. Although in this position, I don't think I would pull her away from Raz, but I would pull her into me. And I have Axe available. So I Jagged Blade, I pull her into Axe range, I swing on her, I land a body shot, and that should realistically be enough. I believe it's knife, swing, knife, axe, body shot is enough to kill a 200 HP target. And even if I don't kill her, I force her back there. And if the Reinhardt gets rezzed, he's either in a punishable position. We have a Mei here who could probably wall. Or we just punish. And worst comes to worst, we still have our ultimate to find big value with a team who have just used their Mei ult as well. So they don't have anything to contest us now. So an important note as well is when you get a kill, you've usually expended resources to find that kill. I believe actually we don't have wall right now because we had to use that. And if I had to bet, I would say we're probably down either TP or Suzu because of the Mei ult. And yeah, we're down Suzu because of the mail. Um, so realistically, in this situation, I should have been calling or should have been thinking to try and disengage, and I actually altered in without shout again, which is the biggest mistake I can make, engaging without ultimate, without shift, without my shift.
Feel better? It's not right to treat your queen. Over here.
I see that we're down 2, and I become worried, and I actually just call for reset. I think that might have been a winnable fight because their fire is 1 HP. I might be going for a swap on here. Yeah. Currently, I'm not interested in reviewing my other heroes, but from what I can gather from this gameplay, at least, I would say is more than valuable enough to be able to say confidently, these are the notes that I need to be making. I need to be looking around more. I need to be patient. I just okay. I need to be patient, I would say, on a kill or knowing when we have cooldowns, when we don't have cooldowns. Especially my own shout. I don't pay attention enough to when I do and don't have my shout available. A lot of the time I was engaging with no shout in situations where I may have seen it as winnable or not needed, but obviously I was not assessing the situation correctly. One pick is not enough to just freely engage, no shout. Um, so I would say the important factor here for my Junker Queen right now is high awareness. Look around more. Where is your team? Is your team able to follow up on what you're doing? Um, if I just swap this camera around actually to be webcam. Oh wait, this is. There we go. Okay, that's better. So I use sticky notes. Um, I'm just going to pull down the ones that I don't need, and then I'm going to make notes. So just a quick little recap. I'd say patience. Um, Patience on a kill, patience on knowing when and when not to rush in. So patience is the key word here. And then we've going to write underneath it cooldowns in brackets shout. Um, Awareness. Actually, that will get its own post-it note. So patience, cooldowns, and then in brackets shout. And then we're gonna put awareness, and then where is your team? Can they follow up slash support? One technique that I have learned, or that I have seen and done before, is I'm very often a person that doesn't focus on what the other players on their team are doing, and I'm one dimensional with where I'm looking and what I'm doing. So I'll be I'll be going in for an engage, but rather than looking around and looking where my team is, I'll just go. And I use audio a little bit too much sometimes. And a method that I used was actually I turn off all audio, every bit of audio, and I was then reliant on using my eyes more. I had to look round. There was no amount of I can hear that their mate has used wall. I have to see things visually. Um, Whether or not I want to do that, because I feel as if it's a good method, but it's also just as easy for me to just look around and try and remember this while also not taking everything out of the game. So I want to still need to be able to hear things. And I think that is something that I'm going to keep on doing is, hold the audio, but when I play, I'm going to be more patient. I'm going to have a little bit more awareness. And those two mistakes legitimately cost us all of those fights that we had. Just engaging without shout and not looking where my team was. Um, Lost us two fights single-handedly. Um, but that is it. Those are the two things that I'm going to be working on.